Hello everyone, this is Pooja Bua. This is our first presentation of semester 3 from the paper number 201 Indian English Literature Pre-Independence. I choose the topic Identity Crisis of Astrologer in an Astrologer's Day. I particularly concentrate on astrologer and how he finds himself throughout the story in his life. Let's see, here are my personal information. Let's first see the introduction of author. Rashipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy, also known as R.K. Narayan, was born on October 10, 1906 and died in May 30, 2001. He wrote so many works throughout his career, novel, short stories, plays, and so many things. But these four works are very important in his life and also to the reader. Swami and Friends, The Bachelor of Arts, Malgudi Days, and An Astrologer's Day, and other story with that. In his works, mostly we can find universal themes like education, myth, culture, appearance versus reality. In this story, on Astrologer's Day, we can find appearance versus reality, that theme. Uh, Now see, in Astrologer's Day, a little introduction for that, written by R.K. Narayan, also published in 1947. And there are only three main characters. We can see some are minor: the astrologer, astrologer's wife, and Guru Nayak. An Astrologer Day is a suspenseful thriller in the form of a short story, and it's also and this story is also served as an opening chapter in his renowned collection of story known as Malgudi Days, which is also adapted in so many series available also in YouTube. Fallon, Erin, and others describe this story while editing their work that a model of economy without leaving out the relevant details. He calls this story with this line. But if we see that how economy works in this story, we have to see this aspect that main that idea of this story is not economic base. It is appearance, reality, and the identity of astrologer or other characters also with him. So we cannot agree with this line that the most in this story there is most of not description of economy. Now, what is the role of astrologer in this story? The role of astrologer in the story is important for advancing the plot and for exploring themes presented in this story as fate, identity, and deception. In this story start, astrologer shown as a fake fortune teller. If we see the character of astrologer, the customer who are coming who are coming to them, they don't know that he's a fake astrologer, but reader knows that he do this thing fake astrology do cause of money. Yeah, the astrologer's job in this story help us to think about fate, what's meant to happen. He thinks he can predict people's futures using astrology, but he didn't expect to meet someone from his past, and that changes what's supposed to happen in his own life. The astrologer's character adds excitement and mystery in this story also, and we can assume that somehow this astrologer's character represent the mindset, point of view, or psychology of the idea of our society, that how people live and think in it. Now these 4 points of with this 4 point we can see that how his identity shake from his roots. First one is identity in past versus present. So the identity of astrologer changes twice in his life. First, he works in farming fields and all believe in total hard work. But after this crime thing happen in his life, he changes himself and become an astrologer. But we can see that in this both life, he cannot be happy truly, and he is suffering mentally in this both identity which he lived. In the end, yes, he got relief after he got rid of the thought that he murdered Guru Nayak, the other character. He thought that he killed him, and he considered himself for that. But when he know that Guru Nayak is alive, he himself feel very relief and give himself a third chance to know his true identity again. So past and present, he give chance to himself for both of that. Now, clock of false identity, of false identity. The astrologer wear the typical clothes of an astrologer, including a turban and a sign that tells people about his service. In this particular era, clock of false identity, it is based on a outer layer or outer look of astrologer, that how he talk, how in what way he tells fortune to other people, but it also very important in inner identity too. So this clothing helps him hide who he really is and what he did in the past. He gave predictions that are not really very clear, but the customer predict it himself. He give some universal truth to the people, and people think that yes, this is my problem, and he solved it. He does this on purpose to make people think that he has special abilities, and with his fake identity show he wants to change who he is. Maybe he think that with this cloak of false identity, in reality I can change. So but when he wants to change, he wants to change his skin, but in the end, throughout his life, it is only remaining as a clock of his identity. Now, emotional escape. So, astrologer seems to be emotionally broken, and by immersing himself in this new persona, he temporarily avoids facing the guilt and fear that haunt him. The fear and guilt of murdering someone. That person came and that person came and haunt me also, and someday maybe some if someone knows that I murdered him, they also try to kill me. That fear in his mind, by changing his identity in astrologer, he temporarily got relief from that. The identity which he fabricated provides an emotional turmoil associated with his criminal past, and it also he allows him to create a logical and emotional separation between his old life and his new life. Like it is like a putting a wall between his own life. He makes his life in two parts, in the first one and the second one. It is also one can we can also assume that this identity gives him temporary relief from the pain of murdering someone, as we discussed also. Now the last one, social psychology and the astrologer, that how psychology helps or play a role in astrologer's life, changing his identity and his thoughts. So mentioned in laboratory experiments in the social sciences, social identity theory developed by Henry Tajfel and John Turner is a fundamental framework in social psychology that explain how individuals categorize themselves and other into social groups. Psychology, we can assume that something is we can know what other people thinks if we learn psychology, but social psychology based on society and what society think and how they can mix themselves with the others. In this story, interaction with customer can be considered as an important part of understand how he thinks. With the beautiful skill of interacting customers and tell them that you have this future, and your futures, I can make this future very happy for you. So the way he express himself and tells customer about their future, it is very beautiful skill according to him. And it also play a psychological way of thinking if we see in deep. So his way of telling about customers future without hesitation, even though he doesn't know about it, is a notable skill, a psychological way of thinking. Talking to people helps him deal with the new way he pretends to be, even if it means lie. So lie or truth, it doesn't matter what give him a relief. He wants to do that. It signifies his ongoing struggle to maintain his fabricated identity, and this can be considered his skillful play with the psychology of customer. He also plays with his own identity. He don't know who am I, what I want to do, and also plays with customers' mind, that what they want to do and what I'm going to do with them. Yeah, so this is everything for these are my reference. Thank you. Platform is open for questions.
So, Pooja, how does his character's identity influence the entire narrative?
Okay, nice question. So, his character's identity in this whole plot, the main character astrologer and his identity, his changes of identity plays a vital role in a whole narrative. And with his narrative, as his identity changes, his narration also changes. That what when he was he was doing farming, he thinks differently, and after doing and bring in this astrology or astrologer, he changes his narration totally. That his point of view also changes, and as story grows, his narrative also grows in positive way, and also his character grows, and his identity also give him happiness too in the end. Yeah.
So, Pooja, my question is that while considering this changing identity of astrologer due to his survival, so can we compare this situation of astrologer with our day-to-day lives, because we also changes ourselves with the space and time and people. So, what do you say about this?
Of course, identity is something we hide sometimes from someone, and sometimes we exaggerate our identity to someone else. And if we compare it with our day to day life, the identity of astrologer, of course, this is a different context in this story. That according to him, he is astrologer. According to customer, he is astrologer, but his wife knows who he really is. So identity according to his wife is different, according to customer is different. And if we compare it ourselves or our life, our identity is also different as a student, as a daughter, or as a sister, or as a mother. So yeah, it is really the changing of identity plays a really important role in everyone's life. And connected with the above question, it also changed not only astrologer's narrative but our narrative also. Yeah. Thank you.